morning and I'm not too late. Time to go. The people. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know hear us. We are not for the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. We can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. People don't forget. People don't forget. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live. 10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food, pan with Friday. Welcome. People are suffer. Bolo V&R, we in the space. While Andrew live great. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and let the people here.
Where's that?
Yo, Bolo, we are there.
They are, man, they are start off live, you know, I do some...
Yeah, general in the youth.
Respect, man, respect.
Oh, you're real general.
Respect. Bless up. Manners and respect. I wonder how somebody has sent me things so much time and me just start the live. You see me?
Yo, bro. And 2 minutes, I'm on about 3 o'clock in the morning and listen to your live, bro.
Oh, Manners, man, thanks for the support, man. What you say, man?
Me, I want to be the biggest fan if you never know.
Manners, man, Manners.
The biggest fan, my brother. Because you know what? The man talk nothing but reality. Facts done.
Respect. Respect, man, respect.
Tell you, I listen to you, bro. I hear me as a man. The man well alert. Yeah, everything we say makes sense, brother.
You know, they own a pearl, you know, brother.
Brother?
You know, wake up. Sorry for them, bro. Sorry for them pitney and then grand pitney and sorry for them.
No. You know, man, if in most cases, you have some people, them jump up and them do some things and they don't know how it will affect them further on down the road. Yeah?
Yes.
And some little things happen to them and there's a generational curse and a generational
No, I see them when they plant their fruits, them a beer, you know?
The choices when them make.
Yeah, man.
The choices, them say what jump off and jump and
Yeah, man. You can't see a man a show you say, yo, brother, me walk this already. If you walk this, your foot are cut off and you still walk by there. What do you think I got? Foot are cut off. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
So right now when some people have feel pressure in a ball, they have response to some people. You know why I mean no response to some people? When don't prepare myself, because I know what is coming.
Them body sorry for themselves, bro. So it's like, boy, you have to take care of yourself because you see what come out there, you understand? And you have to consolidate the people them where they're closest to you because you know your people come forward. You understand? Exactly. So that's how you think about it. Respect for your shout out still, but you know, I have to move on because I have a whole heap of things to talk about, you know. Manners to general. Respect, hear that? That is it. Alright, no joke. Yes, my people, so one more time for your song, because, you know, get interrupted.
10 long years and
Look
look
up the
how
general still, manners and respect. Barrington, walk on. Thank you, Nats. Thank you, my baby. Donna Whittaker, what's going on?
people are suffer while Andrew live great. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people here. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Your JLP friends, them feel I rise, road still full of holes. A whose pocket you a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, people can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you want Juliet. Well said, you always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in your politics we ever see. Time to go. The street is sky. You're bringing the poor to you and your own people cry. We born you, we grow you, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top out extended man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan. But 10 years later we still can't understand. Corruption report London, nobody charge. The people pocket small but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council bro? Country suffocate down and it just smoke. And when we raise the voice up all we political. But the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical. Police, time to go. Time to go. The people, they say no. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not by the door. Police, time to go. Time to go. From Kingston to Negri, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full but the people COVID empty. Oh you live so large when we live in so scanty. Not with fist, not with fire but with voice. Them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate. Jamaica speaking and I'm not too late. Time to go. The people. We said no, 10 years, we can't take no more, you know hear us. We are not by the door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negri, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh, yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. We can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road.
This one, Jamaica, understand up for the right now. If I fight them, what we fight now. I know it's the time now. Come make we stand up like Marvin and Andre Stevens. And we are big up, we in love some. And them attack for we right now. We have to get rid of broken. The man wicked and lie. And just through money. And to sell we are.
just through money and just sell you out, ladies and gentlemen. But remember Psalms 37. No worry about the evil doer them, you know. Yeah, man, no worry about them, man. Just read Psalms 37, man. Fret not thyself. Alright, my people. God and time. God and time. Remember, me tell you, just make sure, say, you are do the right thing in a God's eyes. Make sure, say, where you are do pleasing to God. You see me? To worry about Andrew and them, you know. They have to go worry about God. You understand my side? You understand my people? They have to go worry about who? God. That may I tell you. Anyway, I could get tonight, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start with this. See? There's a youth with upon what name?
God didn't get.
Hold on. A youth with upon TikTok. See?
You have.
Where him have a beard. Remember what name? But him come out against Pastor Peter Chambers. Think I try or something new. And him come out against Pastor Peter Chambers. And Pastor Peter Chambers will do one video about him and warn him, you know. Say God go disgrace and open mouth him thing. Well, me know if you lady put our something on private, our channel on private. We look like she do it. But because I look back for the video, I can't find it. I can't find it. But me did download it still. Me did download it. You see the youth?
No, I saw your video yesterday. And I leave you alone because you move on and me move on. Right? And just no, I saw Travis Lingard online.
He named Travis Lingard. My general. You have to be careful here. Everybody will mess with God's anointed one them. Don't make pride or arrogance make no falter. But repent here, man. Just repent. Alright, sir? Yeah, man, I get your house in order. Because if what this lady say is true, you're married to her legally. And you're gone to, you talk about your girlfriend or whatever. I don't know which part of the Bible say you can do that. But something, alright? Some confusion there, so bossy. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to dig up the video where Pastor Peter Chambers they want you. And I'm going to play this. Because you see too much people that talk about people falls on them something there. And when the thing they happen, it's like nobody never remember say the man they tell us say yo or tell in one other people and things happen to them. It's like nobody no remember them or something. We find it very strange. You understand? Find it very strange. Oh, the false prophet, Ray and day and then when the thing happen, and in one and the thing come to pass, crickets, nobody no remember nothing. Nobody no say, you know, say Pastor Peter Chambers did right. Nobody say, you know, say Max Stewart did right. Nobody say, you know, say Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth did right. He was truly speaking the word of the Lord. Nobody does that. But when you come out, false prophet. No do the right thing, man. Repent. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Moving right along. Check out that video. We depend on God's same way, you know. This was very interesting. Listen to this.
All right, question. Come on, my sister.
I just had a question. What Bible are you reading from? Not Ecclesiastes, but Ecclesiastes.
There's many. The mistake that people have made, they thought it was just 66 books in the Bible. It is more than 66 books in the Bible. Viewers, you don't know the history of the Catholic Church. They took it upon themselves to take books out of the Bible.
Right.
And they gave you 66.
Right.
God didn't give you 66 because within the 66 there's other books mentioned.
That's right. That's right.
In your 66 books, let me show you in your Bible where the Bible talks about other books.
In the book of Numbers chapter 21 and at verse 14.
Follow me.
Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord,
Did it say in the book of the War of the Lords?
what he did in the Red Sea.
Now, everything that was done in the Red Sea is not just written in Exodus
That's right.
or in the Old Testament.
That's right.
It's also written in the book of the War of the Lords.
What he did in the Red
What
Sea.
he did in the Red Sea.
And in the books of Arnon.
And also, and where? In the books of Arnon.
And in the books of Arnon.
All right.
Now in the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 12.
Follow me?
And we're at verse 15.
Yeah.
Now the acts of Rehoboam,
Now, the Acts of Rehoboam,
first and last,
first and last.
are they not written in the book of Shemaiah the prophet?
Oh, it's written in the book of Shemaiah the prophet.
And
Y'all never heard this before.
right.
And
of Iddo the seer,
it's also written in the book of Iddo the seer
concerning genealogy.
concerning genealogy.
And there were wars between Rehoboam and Jeroboam continually.
Yes, keep traveling.
Now in the book of 1 Chronicles chapter
Follow-
29.
Listen at this.
1 Chronicles chapter 29 and verse 29.
First Chronicles chapter 29
And verse 29.
and verse 29.
Now the acts of David the king first and last.
The Acts of David the king, first and last.
Behold, they are written
They are written.
in the book of Samuel the seer.
We know about Samuel the seer, don't we?
That's right.
What else?
And in the book of Nathan the prophet.
Oh, you knew about the prophet Nathan, but did you know Nathan wrote a book?
That's right. That's right.
What else?
And in the book of Gad the seer.
Oh, you knew that Jacob had a son named Gad. That's where the Gadites come from.
That's right.
But did you know Gad wrote a book?
That's right.
You got the book of Gad.
And the book of 2 Samuel chapter 1.
2 Samuel chapter
And
1.
we start at verse 17.
All right.
And David lamented with lamentation over Saul
David cried over Saul
and over Jonathan his
and
son.
over Jonathan his son.
Also he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow.
Yeah.
Behold, it is written
It is written
in the book of Jasher.
in the book of Jasher. We have the book of Jasher.
So, yeah, this is an encouragement to do more studies about the word, because when I say a while ago, the book of the Bible I tell you about other books of the Bible, but you don't actually see those books in the Bible, because how the Catholic Church decided to do with their authority. Yes, that is not telling you to not follow God, and that it's not God's word. That's not the message. Study and show thyself approved. You feel me I deal with? Yes. Thought that was very interesting and I needed to share that. Now, let me share something else interesting where before we go into the main topic there. Because Instagram is one different world, Instagram is one total different world. Total different world, ladies and gentlemen. I remember us playing that one. Listen to this. Just this one.
So this guy takes a bell and puts it in a vacuum chamber, and then he pounds this bell as hard as he possibly can, and he cannot hear a thing. Now pay very close attention to what happens when he adds air back into the...
And as we let the air in, now I think you can hear the bell quite clearly. And that's a very nice experiment to demonstrate how air is needed for the transmission of sound.
You see, what happens is sound is literally just particles vibrating through the air to get to the person hearing the sound. So if there's nothing in the air for the sound wave to pass through, then the sound wave can't travel. So sound cannot travel in a vacuum. With this being said, why don't we listen to this? So he's in the void of outer space, but you can literally hear him like clanking metal up against the ISS. How does that make any logical sense? My theory is that they are actually underwater and LARPing being in space. Why don't you listen to this clip of someone scuba diving? It sounds exactly the same, doesn't it? And funny enough, in Austin, Texas, They train astronauts underwater. They LARP being in space by being underwater in Austin, Texas. Must be a coincidence. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only. Of course, sound can travel in a vacuum. So this guy takes a bell and puts...
So ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't understand, this is challenging thought, right? Ryan Campbell, how you doing? So the gentleman did an experiment where he locked, he put a bell in a container and locked and suck out all the air out here. Knock the bell. You couldn't hear any sound. As soon as he released air into it, because when you take out the air now, it becomes a vacuum, you know. As soon as he released air into it, this is science. You could hear the bell when he knocked it. So, how do you explain men going into space where there's total vacuum? How do you explain the videos? And he showed one of the videos. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Think. It's not illegal yet. Alright? Little random new stuff, you know, that I thought I would share with you guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, another thing. The hottest topic in the world. Argentina and the racism. Well, not like experience, man. Let's listen to this brother right here that lives in Argentina. Black brother. Let's listen to him.
I just finished up 2 months traveling in Argentina, and this will be my raw, unfiltered take of my experience as a black man. But slow down, it might not be what you think. Now, admittedly, when I was first coming into Argentina, I had seen the narrative that Argentina is a racist country, so I came in a little bit on edge about what I was expecting how people to behave, and that did leave me a little like closed off in the beginning. But that's the thing though, because the overwhelming majority was completely positive. People were super friendly, super welcoming. I actually had a really good time. I really enjoyed the culture. I really enjoyed the food, the asado, the nature, the passion, the sazon, the people. I even enjoyed the way they talk. Like, they're actually pretty friendly and like playful people. I found the narrative that I had in my head constantly being challenged, because even on like their $10,000 bill, they had this national hero who was a black woman. And I did some research, I forget the name, but she actually fought in the war for independence, and she was a captain, and they celebrate her. But where it gets complicated for me is in real life, I'm having this overwhelmingly positive experience. But then when I go online, I see all these videos of like Argentinian players having racist chants after winning the 2022 World Cup, which personally kind of hurt, because I was rooting for Argentina in that World Cup because I'm a Messi fan. So now it's like I have this point of tension where I'm like, how are the two true? Could it be that, you know, they're just being like super friendly to my face, but behind closed doors, you know, they have like nastier behaviors? I can't speak to that because I can only talk on what I experienced. The one conclusion I came to after meeting Argentinians both in Argentina and outside of Argentina is, look, every country has good and bad people, and you can't label an entire population. So now I leave the country with a much more complex view of the situation, because a lot of times what you'll find is the truth lies between the narrative you might see online and what you actually experience in reality. I just finished up 2 months traveling in Argentina, and this will be my...
Listen, man, that's all I've been saying the entire time. There is racism everywhere. There's gonna be a group of people in every country that has racist practices and tendencies. It doesn't mean the entire country is racist. It's the most ignorant argument I've ever heard. There is a campaign of hatred against Messi and the Argentines. And people are supporting Spain. Spain! If you're gonna use the same logic, really, Spain. Spain. You're actually serious. Do you know this, just Spain? People supporting England. Like, really? England? Bro, you can't make this up, bro. Well, anyway, we're gonna move on. The brother was saying I'm gonna eat grass if Argentina beat England. Big up yourself. You actually see you do a video eat grass. It come in a newspaper. Unbelievable. What a way to go viral. If that's what it takes for me to go viral, I want no parts of it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying he did it to go viral enough. I'm saying I am not gonna make an ass of myself in that. Yeah, you can say all of that, brother. And that's, see, that's, you see, here comes the weakest argument in the world, you know. It seems like you're saying something, but you're not saying anything. Because I played a video of a black Argentine girl, and she explained why the Argentinians them look like how them look. They are all mixed up, black people included. Black Argentines don't look like black Brazilians. If you should go and do a DNA test, since as we need to go this far, if you should go and do a DNA test of the players them, you would realize they come from black descendants. They have a lot of the African descendants in them. That is not true. That is a lie. And I'm going to block you. I mean, you're going to play black players, but still a country is racist. One of their officials in England the other day said that we should be paying them repatriation money. And you are here trying to defend them. Come on, man. Stop it. Come on. When you come on to that topic, time out for you right now. Now I have to spread them foolishness there. It too much lies are being propagated against Argentina. Brazil had more history of the amount of slaves that they had than Argentina. Argentina actually stopped slavery long before Brazil and other countries. I know for to support America, we can't wait to get one visa. Really? Really? You hear what going on in Georgia right now? In real time right now to black people? Man, y'all don't want to have an honest conversation, man. Yeah, and trust me, you can't win me upon this. We can't tell you that right now. You not going to win. You just have to talk foolishness and make a black people. You can't win upon this argument. Rubbish. Majority outside them want to support in the world more racist, have more racist history than Argentina. I mean, I ask Christ. This idea about Argentina is the word. I have one video I post from my YouTube where Messi there are Haiti. I show love when in the young with FIFA. I show love to the Haitian and I spread the football love and you know, the young kids them when they're very young. Hug the black youth them, kiss them, embrace them, sit down around them, and talk to them, encourage them, inspire them for football, about football. Like, you guys want to ignore all of these facts though, to this wave of new propaganda against Argentina. Some say them never have a black player, it never happened. All of this, them kill out one bag of foolishness. And we heard from black Argentines that live in Argentina that all of this that is talking about Argentina is nonsense. And we have Jamaicans over there dispelling the lies that are being told. But the truth, you know, the truth don't really need no defense, you know. What the lies them do is them come up with more lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. So when we say, oh, they had removed slavery before, oh, but them don't have a black player on the side. Do you realize that there's a black Haitian on the small team that is actually storming up things, and you're gonna see him shining as long as life is with him. You understand what I deal with at some point in the future, and others as well. But it's kind of ridiculous that the entire country of Argentina, could it be let's have a conversation for about a second. Could it be that the people that run Argentina football, when we drop the door, because the sun are blind through your window. Push up the door, make you block out that something that come through this. You need to lock more, man. You need to lock more. It will come through the, yeah, thank you. That blind me will come straight in my eye. Anyway, could it be that the individuals, if we should run with this idea about the team, could it be that the individuals running the federation and the decision makers, they are the ones that are funneling the footballers that they want into the camp? And how does that, I mean, France have black players and the people them still in Europe still treat them like trash, talk down to them, the most racist comments. I mean, Mbappe had an incident with a top official the other day, and him bun her out. Like, what are we doing? But Argentina is the problem though. The problem is everywhere. Rubbish. Total rubbish. Total rubbish. Don't support no team at all then. If you don't want to do that, fine. Don't support no football team. Nobody. Because you're going to find some remnant of racism somewhere. I can tell you that. But anyway, moving on. The hear Marvin has say so.
Unplanned settlements, that's what the news is. So this man right here, so, is trying to be tricky.
Yes.
With the words that he's using, because you have unplanned settlements, that's what the news say, him using the terminology, unplanned settlements. And you also have squatter communities. Sometimes the terminologies are used interchangeably. So sometimes when they talk about unplanned settlements, I'm talking about squatter community. But the truth is, squatter communities, squatter communities mean people who go build up houses and stuff on government lands or private properties without any consent, illegally, right? But in some cases, unplanned settlements doesn't necessarily mean that the persons who are living in these settlements. So this man right here, so, is trying to be tricky with the words that he's using, because you have unplanned settlements, that's what the news say, him using the terminology, unplanned settlements. And you also have squatter communities. Sometimes the terminologies are used interchangeably. So sometimes when they talk about unplanned settlements, I'm talking about squatter community. But the truth is, squatter communities, squatter communities mean the people who build up houses and stuff on government lands or private properties without any consent, illegally, right? But in some cases, unplanned settlements doesn't necessarily mean that the persons who are living in these settlements are illegal or squatting. They're not. It could be a situation where a man saw a piece of land up in a mountain, they get it, buy it and stuff, and a few persons now live up there, and it becomes a little community. But it's so far away from the government and them resources and stuff, and them now put no road up there, they now put no water up there just to get to a few persons. So he said government could start limiting social services for unplanned settlements. I honestly believe that Andrew Oles is trying to be tricky with how he's coining the words, and he's really talking about squatters. Why? Because for the past few weeks, the government, him and his people, have been talking about squatter lands and people who live on squatter lands and how they want the people to come off of there. Him and, what the boy the name? Bobby Montague, who in charge of land and titling. Now, you see this brother here, one day very soon, you will all understand the level of evil what a drunkard you have in him. My uncle sent me a call about the drunkard. The big nose, pig looking man. Him, and one day I'm gonna realize, so Andrew Michael Oles is the devil himself in Jamaica. And I will understand very soon. Some of you start to understand now, but you will soon understand. You see the man and him a shake? I feel kind of people them there. You have to look like that. Yeah? You have to look like that for you to be a part of his circle. Anybody else outside of that are using you. The same people them were in an unplanned settlements were the same persons who were found. Who were found by electoral office workers, verified at their known address, got voters ID. Them send bus and car for you per election day. Them call them runners. Them have runners will come phone and pick you up and carry you go vote and carry you back in your yard and put them your drunk in a power. My uncle said. You don't have to call nobody not drunk.
Can you grip me? Can you grip with me?
Sorry guys.
But this man right here, is planning to limit social services. That includes PATH program, that includes water, road, light, stuff, infrastructure, stuff. Yes, stuff where you get from government. Services where you get from government. To make your life better. A man a plan to limit it. 1 p.m. big up a damn clean self. To the over 600,000 Jamaicans that are living in squatter communities, may God have mercy upon them, because that's their money. He's now one of the most powerful men in Jamaica in terms of the money. Kind of powerful for me. And not powerful for me. Yeah? To me, he's nothing but a little inanimate object or an insignificant mass of cytoplasm, a little sperm cell. There's nothing more to him than
embarrassing.
He needs some milk. King and in control of money. Object or an insignificant mass of cytoplasm, a little sperm cell. There's nothing more to him than that for me. But for Uno, him is God and King and in control of money. And you notice the rich people them up at town there, or them quiet, them not say nothing. Because whatever he's doing benefits them. So them quiet, them not give a shit about Uno, but the pan squatters and our Uno are dead off. Big up on yourself. What do you think, Andrew?
You know, please remember to like and share the video, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, cancer, we never want to know still. Yeah, man, so I don't want you to ball in front of the right them, especially Uno. And the people that will never vote, I don't want you to ball in front of them. Uno know yourself. I don't have a list, but Uno know yourself. So we don't really need to know for you understand? Yeah, man, you can't just stay quiet, man. Be quiet. You know? And of course, when it comes to housing and rebuilding with resilience, you know what I mean? Make we look on it now. People that are more in need of help is going to be cut off from help. Based off this situation. That's what it's saying. For him to limit social services for squatters. Isn't that like targeting people? Isn't that like discrimination? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Oh, by the way, happy birthday to the leader's wife. I had posted it on my wall, man. Big up to Mrs. Golding. Happy birthday to her. I think it shall soon be Mr. Golding's birthday as well. So happy birthday to him when it comes. And big up Mr. Lonesome. You understand? I feel them time of the year now. No? Yes, so big up them people. But let me say, I think I had shared the article that. Did I share that article? I don't think I did, you know. Government could start limiting social program. Let me just play this in the meantime. Listen to this, Jamaica.
The National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA, is in the process of mapping large construction projects across the island. CEO of NARA, Major General Anthony Anderson, gave an update at the recent Recovery and Rebuilding Expo in St. James. Details from Andrea Chisholm.
Here is, as I said, we have a mandate to accelerate. We have a mandate to do things faster, at scale, with transparency and accountability. The
CEO of NARA reiterating the purpose of the agency as it builds the foundation for rapid reconstruction projects following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa.
Urgency is what we're about now. And speedy outcomes and an accelerated process. But what that is not is undue haste. You can't do it in a fool way, where you just, to achieve haste, you don't do it properly. That would be as big a tragedy as probably not doing it at all.
Major General Anthony Anderson reiterated that the new and improved infrastructure has to be resilient to natural disasters such as hurricanes and earthquakes. Following his appointment, which took effect on June 1, NARA has been speaking with several stakeholders.
One of the first things that we are doing is getting a sense of all of the large projects that are taking place in the country. To do this, we have to have and have been having the meetings with the various MDAs, with the private sector, the construction industry, and anyone else who is thinking, and the private sector, of course, who are doing their own developments. And the reason for that, we really need all of this development, all of these projects mapped. We need to be able to look at Jamaica and see what's going on in space and in time.
That would promote synergy across different sectors as they work together to get the job done. The NARA legislation clearly states that there should be a registry of projects, all of which have to be approved by Cabinet. Major General Anderson says the projects and their progress will be published on NARA's website so that individuals can track developments. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
Jamaica, I don't know about you guys, but all I heard was Google Gaga. The man sound like him don't know what I talk about. The man sound like him slow. Seriously. Him don't know which direction him really are going on. Him not confident. There's an aura of, dangerous uncertainty in this man's voice when speaking about the NARA. I don't hear confidence being exuded, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I find that very scary because we're talking about the most money coming through this body ever in the history of Jamaica. One that we, the Jamaican citizens, with him sound clueless. Let me play it again. What is he talking about here, sir? Listen to this. It's like when he said the CEO have to do CEO things. It's like, what? What going on, Odin?
Here is, as I said, we have a mandate to accelerate. We have a mandate to do things faster, at scale, with transparency and accountability.
The CEO of NARA reiterating the purpose of the agency as it builds the foundation for rapid reconstruction projects following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa.
Urgency is what we're about now. And speedy outcomes. And
brother, what urgency mean? What urgency mean, brother?
Hey, who man's is this? Oh, man's is this?
accelerated process. And speedy outcomes, and is what we're about now.
Following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa.
Urgency is what we're about now. And speedy outcomes and an accelerated process. But what that is not.
So him talk about urgency, speedy outcomes, and acceleration. All of them mean the same thing, you know? And listen to him also now.
Is undue haste. You can't do it in a fool way, where you just, to achieve haste, you don't do it properly. That would be as big a tragedy as probably not doing it at all.
Major General and
Help, we see out of the ladder.
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need this. We need it. Help. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator.
Yo, oh, that brother have the most secure, like the level of job security where the man have. The man feel as a commissioner, he get one better job. He feel in that they regard it, and then he get a better job after that. And then people want with it. Andrew Honest made a job for him, and half time left, nobody else has taken the job. He made an entire post, Arakelo Edwin, he made an entire post for this man, and nobody else has got the job.
Anthony Anderson reiterated that the new and improved infrastructure has to be resilient to natural disasters such as hurricanes and earthquakes. Following his appointment, which took effect on June 1, NARA has been speaking with several stakeholders.
One of the first things that we are doing is getting a sense of all of the large projects that are taking place in the country. To do this, we have to have and have been having the meetings with the various MDAs, with the private sector, the construction industry, and anyone else who is thinking, and the private sector, of course, who are doing their own developments. And the reason for that, we really need all of this development, all of these projects mapped. We need to be able to look at Jamaica and see what's going on in space and in time.
That would promote synergy across different sectors as they work together to get the job done. The NARA legislation clearly states that there should be a registry of projects, all of which have to be approved by Cabinet. Major General Anderson says the projects and their progress will be published on NARA's website so that individuals can track developments. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
All right, so we find the article. Thank God. We find the article now for you. But that brother, they really just something wrong. Listen to this. This is the article about unplanned settlements. Listen to this.
The notion is that I choose to go and build way up on a hill and then expect the government to carry the water and the road way up on the hill. And the idea is government must do it. But how does the government do it? The government does it by your tax dollars. So we have to start thinking smartly now. Should we take tax dollars to carry water and road, go way out, when right here we have land and we have people seeking housing to live in? Where's the most economical place to deploy the limited resources of the government? Should we allow people to just go and capture land anywhere and build anywhere? Or should the government be strategic in putting in place infrastructure to support housing in proximity to economic activity that generates more taxes to build more unplanned, sporadic development has a significant economic cost on the productivity of the country. And what this administration is trying to do is to change that. What we want to do is to manage the spatial development of the country such that the deployment of our limited resources yields the highest returns. So we are focusing on fixing roads all across the country because the roads are already there, people live there. But we must prevent the development of other unplanned communities. It is not in the country's interest, and it is not in the interest of those persons who seek to go and live in unplanned communities.
Who man is this?
again. Me just answer that.
Across the country, because the roads are already there, people live there. But we must prevent the development of other unplanned communities. The development of other unplanned communities here. But we must prevent the development of other unplanned communities.
What can go so?
When just hear Prime Minister say they must prevent the development of unplanned communities. So now he must blame the people and for have creativity and ambition to own something. You must prevent them from developing unplanned communities. Control everything. Instead of work with the people, you must prevent them. This is not AI, ocean-wide this company. No, no do that. Let me play it again. No do that. Me have it on my computer, I go post this and I go see it.
Here. But we must prevent the development of other unplanned communities. It is not in the country's interest, and it is not in the interest of those persons who seek to go and live in unplanned communities.
So let me ask you that question. Who decide what is in the best interest of the country? Isn't the people's interest the best interest? You know, yo, this is unbelievable, you know. Isn't the people's interest the best interest? It come like you them are, I don't know Blue Hole, I don't know Shiny Robinson, and Naughty Senton. I want to know that the story there. If I didn't never have Shiny Robinson, you know, them youth they wouldn't have Blue Hole, I'll make money off of same way, you know. The man them build, the man them sort out, and the government they want to take away Blue Hole from them, you know. If I never have Shiny Robinson, you know, stand up to our own government, you know, to make sure so the youth them was regularized, you know. I want to go look into that story there if you don't think I lie me I tell. That government wicked Marvin say, and that's why Marvin Edgar say say. PW what's up? That's why Marvin Edgar say what I'm saying. Mighty God, here's more, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to be doing another planned development in another area in St. Catherine. We did the Bernard Lodge development, which is going exceptionally well. That will give us about anywhere from 10 to 15,000 houses. The next development of that nature will be Innswood, and the NHT has been tasked to develop the Greater Innswood Master Plan. We have applications in for close to 5,000 houses there already.
Jamaica, that are 20,000 houses where Jamaican people can afford. Then there are 20,000 houses where Jamaican people cannot afford. Meanwhile, when the PNP when I operate at 10,000 houses a year, in a 5-year 50,000 houses, I them never work that they used to do. This man is unbelievable. And so this is what NARA is for now.
The big challenge would be the road leading up there, that is the St. John's Road, Green Acres. You're going to do Old Harbour Road, but it's St. John's Road, Green Acres, that side. Drainage is a big problem. That area floods excessively when it rains. So we are doing a master plan to widen the road and put in place the necessary drainage so that 5,000 housing solutions can be built.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You see when you're building in mind for the in terms of building with the mindset for poor people, and you're gonna build communities. The road them, build house them first. You see, if you build road and all the infrastructure there, the house them is going to become less affordable for poor people. So you have to start build house them first. Not necessarily the best road. Build house first. It's a strategy where them using a Portmore. Zine, And that's why so much people could have owned something at a small cost then, but when the development round the house, them now, the scheme now come up, all of those properties increased in value by 300%, 400%, 500%, 1,000% over time. Can you imagine you buy one house for 500,000? One bedroom. Splash Digit there, Splash Digit can't tell if you live in a Portmore all your life, you know. Me have family up. You get one little flat for your money. Cheap, back in the day under PMP. And then now, the flat they turn 1 3-story over time. The area get developed, the road them better. All of this happen. You have, because of the population, a growth and the development, it attract businesses. So now, the first people them will get the house them to buy the first time. Them house and them land give them major profit. When you see we how Andrew do it, build good road and everything and then sell it for one big money where people can't afford. And then the man said, on what? Unplanned settlements, they're going to limit social services to them because them don't want people to capture no land. Jamaica, me not tell them to me I go capture no land, you know. It has never crossed my mind. Maybe a pride, maybe a whatever, but it has never crossed my mind to do that. But at the same time, we have to defend the people in cause. This is wickedness. This is evil. This government is definitely not for the poor. Definitely not for the poor. They may not tell us I have family in a Portmore, man. I tell them about Portmore and ask me, you know. Splash Digit one of them day, I go over the field one good coil and do the field 1 week or 2. You feel me I deal with? And give a link and say, oh, Digit can link me. You understand? In a real life. Me have multiple family in a Portmore, I tell you, me know. The people them buy them thing from early, brother. And then think the property value blaze over the years. Blaze. And where the house them build, you know say you can just add on if you want any kind. Go through the right procedure, obviously. But the way the house them build, you can add on. So the property value are going to go up even more. This man talking about unplanned settlements. Hey, I don't know if we're trusted enough. Like I share the video. No, nothing more to say. Big up Marvin Edgar. Swear, I have nothing more to say, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to move on. Now, my people, we could get into the first one right there. So, 2 things. Big up the general name again, ISAT Buchanan. Alright? Big up ISAT Buchanan. And big up Marky G. And big up the whole PMP. You understand? And big up all well-thinking Jamaicans. No. I don't know if you guys have seen a viral video going around of some policeman physically abuse a busman. First time I saw that video there, I was like, what the hell is this? This is very disturbing. And looking back at it, it's equally disturbing. But I never understood the context of what was happening. Right? But Mr. Isaac Buchanan has spoken on it. So I know him at the context, boss. So make we hear him say no.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I'm Isaac Buchanan, Member of Parliament for Portland Eastern and the opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights. I'm deeply disturbed by yet another video circulating on social media, which appears to depict members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force physically assaulting a bus driver for a Toyota Coaster and a civilian while also causing damage to their personal property. If the events depicted in the video are accurate, they constitute another deeply troubling incident involving the use of force by those entrusted with upholding the law. This follows a series of recent videos that have sparked national concern regarding the conduct of some members of the security forces in their interactions with ordinary citizens. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is mandated to serve, protect, and reassure. That mandate cannot coexist with conduct that appears to undermine public confidence, infringe upon the dignity of citizens, or suggest the unnecessary use of force. Within the span of just 2 days, Jamaicans have witnessed yet another incident that appears to show civilians being assaulted. This cannot become our national norm. The Constitution of Jamaica, through the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, guarantees every citizen the right to life, liberty, security of the person, protection from arbitrary treatment, and the protection of property. These constitutional guarantees are not suspended simply because an individual is stopped by law enforcement. Every exercise of police power must remain lawful, necessary, proportionate, and accountable. While the police undoubtedly perform a difficult and often dangerous job in combating crime, that responsibility carries with it an equally important obligation to exercise restraint and professionalism. Public confidence in law enforcement depends not only on reducing crime, but also on the faithful observance of the rule of law and respect for the constitutional rights of every Jamaican. In my capacity as Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland and opposition spokesperson on youth and human rights, I am calling for an immediate and comprehensive investigation by the relevant state authorities into this incident. The facts must be established swiftly, independently, and transparently, and where wrongdoing is found, those responsible must be held fully accountable. I also call upon the leadership of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, including the Commissioner of Police, to provide the Jamaican people with a clear explanation of what transpired, the circumstances surrounding the actions of the officers involved, and the measures that will be implemented to prevent similar incidents from recurring. The people of Jamaica deserve policing that is professional, accountable, and rooted in respect for the Constitution. Every allegation of excessive force erodes public trust and weakens the relationship between the police and the communities they are sworn to serve. This pattern cannot continue unchecked. Accountability strengthens policing, it does not weaken it. Respect for human rights is not an obstacle to effective law enforcement. It is an essential pillar of justice and democracy. The Jamaican people deserve answers. They deserve accountability. Above all, they deserve a police service that faithfully lives up to its oath to serve, protect, and reassure.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm.
Yeah, I mean, I every word, every syllable. I would love more clarity on the situation as well. You know, it don't look good. Again, this is why we need body-worn cameras. Another clarion call, another situation that stirs the mistrust or stirs more lack of trust from the Jamaican citizens where, you know, the police is concerned. You understand? And ladies and gentlemen, speaking about the police, there was a Facebook post that I saw that stated that the police who allegedly pepper sprayed Desmond McKenzie is now in custody. Well, the JCF on their Instagram has refuted that claim, that it is fake. So any of you that had believed that that is true, that somehow the man that pepper sprayed Desmond McKenzie is in custody, the devil is a liar. I saw it, but I was like, nah, I don't think that's true. So I was like, nah, pepper spray, really? Nah, I don't think that's true. Nah, I don't think that happened. Anyway, based off the own words of Desmond McKenzie, I said, nah, he said that he stood in front of the police while the police was chasing somebody. That is obstruction of justice. That is you interfering with police operation. So I was like, how could they take him off duty? On what grounds legally? On what grounds? It just never really sounded right. So they say the Jamaica Consolidated Forces are aware of the social media posts making claims regarding the alleged arrest of the police officer. At this time, we urge the public to exercise caution and avoid sharing or replying on unverified information circulated online. The JCF remains committed to transparency, accountability, and due process. Where allegations of misconduct involving members of the forces arise, they are addressed through the appropriate investigative and disciplinary process. It says members of the public are encouraged to obtain updates from JCF official communication channels and credible news sources. We thank the public for its continued cooperation in helping to combat misinformation. All right. So moving on to Mark Jefferson Bowling in this particular reaction, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Bowling calls for a Marshall Plan to rescue hurricane-hit small businesses. So he has been calling for the government to rescue citizens that are homeless. Mark Bowling and the People's National Party. And now he's calling for a Marshall Plan to rescue hurricane-hit small businesses. Let's listen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to this.
Opposition leader Mark Golding says businesses across much of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, and parts of Manchester have suffered lasting damage to their productive capacity. He says many of the affected businesses are uninsured and have lost both their physical assets and their stock. According to Golding, they need help and they need it fast.
I think that, especially given that this fiscal year we have suspended the fiscal rules so that the government has more leeway in how it manages the situation, I think we really need a kind of a Marshall Plan for small businesses in the affected areas of the country. They need help and they need it fast. And I think we need the rollout of a serious Marshall Plan to get those businesses back up and running so that they can resume their contribution to employment and to economic activity and indeed economic growth. And I think that's the main message I want to carry this morning.
The opposition leader argues that the crisis is unfolding against the backdrop of a weakened economy. He also cites rising international energy and transportation costs, driven by the ongoing war in the Middle East and Europe. Golding says that in a time of economic contraction, the country must be bolder and more creative.
We can't, in time of depression or contraction or difficulties, challenges, adopt a pro-cyclical approach to economic management. We have to be more creative, we have to be bolder. And while we must, of course, always maintain targets that we want to meet in terms of debt to GDP ratios and so on, there must be some flexibility in how we approach those in terms of the dates and what have you, because we need to address present problems, and there's serious problems in a real way.
Golding argues that with the fiscal rules suspended for the financial year, the government has both the leeway and the responsibility to act decisively. But he cautions that headline announcements about billions of dollars budgeted for small businesses are not enough. According to Golding, often those funds don't reach the intended beneficiaries and are then sent back to the consolidated fund.
What happens is we sometimes have headlines of things that we do, for example, provide financing for small businesses, billions of dollars made available, but the actual distribution system is not working at all. And those funds don't reach who they're intended to reach, and are often returned at the end of the fiscal year to the consolidated fund. So we have to work through the granular details of how the interface between policy and reality works its way through so that we get the results that we actually need. And I think if we do that attentively and working together, we can build a much stronger economy and a better Jamaica.
Sean Campbell for Nationwide News.
You know, this man is a problem for the Jamaica Labour Party. Do not be fooled. And that is the reason why the propaganda machine is doing any story that seems to plant a seed of divide into the People's National Party to get rid of Mark Golding. There's an orchestrated plan by these media entities in Jamaica to remove Mark Golding from the People's National Party as the leader of the party for that very reason. This man is dangerous to them achieving their agenda. He is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. That's the lie the man tell a while ago. This government is not creative economically, you know. They are doing standard things and we have a crisis. The economy needs to grow. What better way to grow the economy than helping the individuals that have been hit, small businesses, to rise up from small to medium to big. More people will be in more employment. Give the people an opportunity. And you heard what he said too? The fact that the fiscal rules are loosened, this is the moment in time where you use your creativity in a positive way to help those people to grow. Ladies and gentlemen, the man is brilliant, and he have a brilliant team behind him as well. You understand? And if only the government was not working for the devil, because they cannot work for God, and we know that they are a cult. If they were not working for the agenda of the devil, they would have been doing these things and taking these recommendations from the People's National Party long ago and use them. Use the idea, them man. But them busy as scrape. Them busy as set up them own business. I build schemes and townhouses for them to personally benefit from what the government is doing. Them and them friend. Them know themselves. It's all a scheme for them to make more money. That's why there's so many of them that is under investigation for illicit enrichment. Them and them friend. And them come up with these grand plans like you hear Mark Golding say, right? Oh, we're gonna allocate this money to help these people. And at the end of the program, only what? Less than a third of the persons then get any help. Look at what happened with the social program the other day that targeted 20,000. Was it 20,000 persons? Last year, 50,000 persons. It targeted and it only yielded what? 7,000, 12,000 persons? Between 7 and 12. What the preaching the name again? Dr. Alfred Dawes. He talked about it in Parliament. He was livid. He was livid about it. I think he was in the PAC meeting or the PAAC meeting, and he said, well, I mean, this program is not, people need the help and it didn't get to its target. It's ridiculous. Why is that? Why is it? Why did that happen? Man, listen, bro. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I wanted to go and look for that video, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I forgot to make a pause the reaction. Let's see if I can find it. Man, I've been putting out so many videos, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Whoa. Mr. Doctor, I think this is it. No, this is not it. Overpriced contracts.
Are we to believe, are Jamaicans to believe that the government that closed the corner shops during COVID while big supermarkets operated freely will now in
when the people who are suffering from the hurricane, you don't talk, you are the Casanova of sweetheart deals.
Yo, new breed, remember that. Hey man, hey listen, I can't find the video, but I have other things to go and to other stories to go over. But let me know what you guys think about you know, the comments from ISAT Buchanan in regards to the constant, what appears to be constant levels of police brutality on citizens. They have so much power. They have these big guns on their waists, and they have them pepper spray. It's this big gang against the people, you know. And you know, I don't see security. I don't feel secure on the road. Although I am not a part of anything illegal or anything, but you know, one of the demons them can just raise up in one of them police and then decide to say you are gonna be the next victim of police brutality. You feel me I deal with? And them have the entire government behind them. So I'm backing everything that they do. Even when they do unlawful things. You know? Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Alright, so we are going to explore the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start with the article. See? Should I start with this article? No. I should start with the comments of Minister yes. Opposition calls out Minister VAZ for misleading the public. Now there is an actual war on, maybe that's a strong word. Yes, so opposition accuses VAZ of misleading the public. So you know, DARYL VAZ said LOTHAN Cousins is new to the shadow portfolio and would have no idea what the contract says. His ignorance is no fault of his own. He can come see me and have a look. The contract speaks to the formula and it is linked to the US CPI and not Jamaica inflation. Alright, so DARYL VAZ put that out, see? DARYL VAZ put that out, and that is on the Jamaica Observer Instagram page, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? So, and he also, there's a other article, and I'm gonna go through all of them. I just want to find the article with DARYL VAZ. Like me say, there's a war of words on social media. So LOTHAN Cousins had defended himself in the comment section. He did. Oh my God. I thought it would be here, but anyway, no worries. So LOTHAN Cousins replied on DARYL VAZ post and said, Minister, I would urge you to refrain from embarrassing yourself any further on the subject matter. The facts speak for themselves. So LOTHAN Cousins is very confident, ladies and gentlemen. He's supremely confident about this particular topic. Right? So when he says that he's misleading the people, he's not backing down on that. He's not backing down on that. You understand? Let me just find. Oh wow. Let me just find the actual article. Ah, here it is. Alright, so me find VAZ one. Find VAZ one. I'm gonna have to make sure it's ah, here it is. Wonderful. Amazing. There we go. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. All right. I've got to read this first one. Just to be thorough. You know them later? Alright, so let me get the full story. So it says here that opposition spokesperson on Land and Works, LOTHAN cousin MP, is calling on the government to provide full transparency regarding the proposed increase in toll rates and the planned expansion of the Marmy Bay Toll Plaza, while rejecting recent attempts by Transport Minister DARYL VAZ to attribute the toll adjustment mechanism to the previous PMP. Alright, so yeah, he did that. Right here, toll hikes are a result of the People's National Party agreement, VAZ said. Listen to this.
We are aware, we are trying our best to have good faith negotiations, as we did with the extension of the Williamsfield Highway recently, to get some better terms, but a contract is a contract, and the government has to observe the conditionalities of those contracts. The government is very aware and sensitive to the concerns in relation to the new toll rates that have been announced. This was also a great concern of the cabinet. However, it is important to reiterate that these arrangements were made in 2001 and 2012 by a then PNP administration. All governments are bound to these contracts, which ultimately affect the Jamaican people. This is no different to the JPS license that was negotiated in 2016 prior to us coming into office. And of course, we all know that story.
So, DARYL VAZ wants to blame it on the People's National Party. Obviously. That's what the Liberites do, right? And one of the things that he said is that there's some truth, because you know, so they mix lie with the truth. One of the things that he said was true is that depending upon the type of contract that the other government before had, that the next government, whoever is forms government, is bound to the contract. Similarly, when the Labour them did mash up the economy and they did and them carry us to economic hell under Bruce Golding and Andrew Wallace and them, when the World Bank was not looking at none of us. We never had any access to any of these entities, these financial entities, to get any loans. They weren't seeing Jamaica. It was not the fault of Mawapi, it was the fault of the Jamaica Labour Party based off their actions. But the People's National Party had to do what? Fix things. They never made excuses and say it's because of them why the economy mash up. They fought and built back the economy and they set things in place. You see the difference between the parties? Let's continue. It goes on to say that Mr. Cousin notes that the historical record is clear. The principal agreement that established the framework for the North Coast Highway project were negotiated and executed under the Jamaica Labour Party in 2011. These included the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of Jamaica and China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, Czech, signed on January 13, 2011. The framework agreement signed on May 27, 2011, and the original implementation agreement signed on November 16, 2011, just weeks before the general election. Want to hear that, Jamaica? January 13, 2011, the framework agreement signed on May 27, 2011. The original implemented agreement signed November 11, 2011, just weeks before the general election. while a restated agreement was executed in June 2012, it was done within the framework of the contractual agreement and financial principles that had already been established. As such, the opposition argues that it is inaccurate and misleading for the minister to suggest that the tolling formula originated under the PNP administration. Furthermore, the government cannot wash its hands of responsibility for the elevated levels of inflation now exceeding the upper band of its inflation target, as its significant factor contributes to the announced toll increase. So what Mr. LOTHAN Cousins is saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that the inflation, if the inflation didn't go up so high, the toll price wouldn't go up so high. So if they had managed the economy in such a way and grew the economy, toll prices wouldn't go up so high. But they want to absolve themselves. And he's speaking deeper to the time and the amendments of the contract and all of that, right? And I would love for him to come and do an interview. Mr. LOTHAN Cousins, please come and do an interview, do a press conference, and lay it out on the table for the people to understand on an ABC level what you're actually saying where this is concerned. The truth of the matter, because we know we're not going to get it from the Jamaica Labour Party, because they're always trying to play politics. And it's everybody else but them. They are never to be blamed for anything that goes wrong, but they are always to be praised for everything that goes right. And those are narcissists. Those are cult behaviors. But let's continue. The opposition has taken note of the government announcement regarding the planned expansion of the Marmy Bay Toll Plaza, while the ministry has indicated that discussions were held with the National Road Operators, the Construction Company Limited, NROCC, and the Highway Concessionaire. No details have been provided regarding the contractual basis for the project or how it will be financed. When you deal with DARYL VAZ or anything to do with DARYL VAZ, these things are always shady. It's never clear. Just look on the bus saga, the school bus saga. Mr. Cousin is therefore calling on the government to disclose whether the expansion is being undertaken as a grantor variation under the concession agreement, whether the project will be funded by the government of Jamaica or concessionaire, whether the works are intended to enable the operator to satisfy its contractual obligation and maintain the required level of service, and if the public funds are being used, how that decision represents value for money for Jamaican taxpayers. Wow. These are very, I remember some Mr. Cousins is a legislator and a lawyer, ladies and gentlemen. So you know say a trouble. Them not gonna escape. It goes on to say that the government owes the Jamaican people clear answers. If the concessionaire is contractual responsibility for maintaining the required level of service, then the public deserves to know why taxpayers should finance these works. Equally, if the public funds are being committed, the government must disclose the contractual basis for that decision and explain how it works. The interests of the Jamaican motorists, transparency and accountability cannot be optional when public money and future toll increases are involved, Mr. Cousins concluded. Wow. Wow. This thing is deep in Jamaica. This thing is deep. That's why I need sharp minds in the opposition, you know. Make me read the article here.
Opposition accuses VAZ of misleading public about toll fees. By Jamaica Observer Team. Kingston, Jamaica, opposition spokesperson on Land and Works, LOTHAN Cousins, is calling on the government to provide full transparency regarding the proposed increase in toll rates and the planned expansion of the Marmy Bay Toll Plaza. In a statement on Friday, Cousins rejected what he described as attempts by Transport Minister DARYL VAZ to attribute the toll adjustment mechanism to the previous People's National Party PNP administration. Cousins noted the principal agreements that established the framework for the North-South Highway project were negotiated and executed under the Jamaica Labour Party JLP administration in 2011. These include the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of Jamaica and China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, CHEC, signed on January 13, 2011. The Framework Agreement signed on May 27, 2011. And the original Implementation Agreement signed on November 16, 2011, just weeks before the general election, he said, acknowledging that a restated agreement was executed in June 2012. Cousins said it was done within the framework of contractual arrangements and financial principles that had already been established. As such, the opposition argues that it is inaccurate and misleading for the minister to suggest that the tolling formula originated under the PNP administration. Furthermore, the government cannot wash its hands of responsibility for the elevated levels of inflation, now exceeding the upper band of its inflation target. As a significant factor contributing to the announced toll increase, he said, "This spokesman said the opposition has also taken note of the government's announcement regarding the planned expansion of the Miami Bay Toll Plaza, and said while the ministry has indicated that discussions were held with the National Road Operating and Constructing Company Limited NROC and the highway concessionaire, no details have been provided regarding the contractual basis for the project or how it will be financed. Cousins is calling on the government to disclose whether the expansion is being undertaken as a grantor variation under the concession agreement, whether the project will be funded by the government of Jamaica or the concessionaire, whether the works are intended to enable the operator to satisfy its contractual obligation to maintain the required level of service, and if public funds are being used, and how that decision represents value for money for Jamaican taxpayers. The government owes the Jamaican people clear answers. If the concessionaire is contractually responsible for maintaining the required level of service, then the public deserves to know why taxpayers should finance these works. Equally, if public funds are being committed, the government must disclose the contractual basis for that decision and explain how it protects the interests of Jamaican motorists. Transparency and accountability cannot be optional when public money and future toll increases are involved. Cousins concluded.
So, according to the most important part of the article, right, where we actually read before, is that the finer details in regards to the contract was done by the Jamaica Labour Party. You understand? So they had to continue the negotiations with China, right? So Cousins noted the principal agreements that established the framework for the North Coast Highway project were negotiated and executed under the Jamaica Labour Party administration in 2011. These included the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of Jamaica and China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, check, signed on January 13, 2011. The framework signed on May 27, 2011, and the originally implemented agreement signed November 16, 2011, just weeks before the general election. So how you gonna blame the People's National Party? How you gonna put everything upon them when these dates cannot be refuted? But let's look into this. It says VAZ accused the PNP of attempting to dodge responsibility for toll fee increase. This guy is something else, ladies and gentlemen.
VAZ accuses PNP of attempting to dodge responsibility for toll fee increase. By Jamaica Observer Team. Kingston, Jamaica, Transport Minister DARYL VAZ is accusing opposition spokesperson for Land and Works, LOTHAN Cousins and the People's National Party PNP of misleading the public, doubling down that the recent increase in toll fees is a result of agreement between the PNP administration and private concessionaires. Cousins, in an earlier statement on Friday, rejected what he described as attempts by VAZ to attribute the toll adjustment mechanism to the previous PNP administration. Cousins noted principal agreements that established the framework for the North-South Highway project were negotiated and executed under the Jamaica Labour Party. JLP administration in 2011. Read, opposition accuses VAZ of misleading public about toll fees. VAZ, however, described Cousins and the PNP as being disingenuous and attempting to mislead the Jamaican public as the facts. He said, are documented and clear that the PNP administration negotiated and inked the agreement with the private concessionaires 6 months after they were returned to government in 2011. Cousins is clearly out of his depth on this matter. His statement is both inaccurate and misleading. And it is not surprising given the PNP's consistent pattern of distortion when it comes to major infrastructure projects. This release is demonstrative of the PNP's scant regard for the truth and highlights both poor leadership and mentorship within their ranks. VAZ said. VAZ clarified that the toll adjustment mechanism is governed by long-standing concession agreements. He noted that the toll cap is subject to adjustment based on the valuation of the Jamaican dollar against the United States dollar, and the inflation rate in the U.S. economy plus 1%. He said for Cousins to suggest that Jamaica's domestic inflation rate is a direct factor in the contractual toll adjustment is both ignorant and grossly misleading. The minister further noted that while early agreements were advanced under the JLP administration in 2011, it was the PNP administration under Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller that executed the binding amended and restated implementation agreement in June 2012 and finalized the concession with China Harbor Engineering Company, COGZ, concerning the planned expansion at the Miami Bay Toll Plaza. VAZ emphasized that this forms part of the North-South Highway Extension project as announced by the Prime Minister during the budget debate. The expansion of the toll plaza serves the Jamaican people, who for months have complained about severe traffic congestion and delays at the booths. For Cousins to question whether this represents value for money is narrow-minded. Hours of productivity are being lost on a daily basis, especially during peak seasons and major events. I am astonished that this is something I even have to explain to the opposition and its spokesman, VAZ added.
VAZ sound very condescending, and this is why I'm calling on LOTHAN Cousins. Use this momentum. Yeah man, you have to go out there man. Cause VAZ out there, you know. VAZ make it look like say a fool she say attack, but here ma admit say the minister further noted that while early agreements were advanced under the JLP administration, Daddy right there, say no. We're not going no further, you know. Early agreements were advanced under the JLP administration. And the Portia Simpson Miller did what? Finalized it. He said executed the binding amendment and restated implementation agreement in June 2012. Now, like I said, Mr. Cousins, this is where you're coming now to educate the people and show them the nuances of the contract, amendments, final implementation, and what it all means. This is an opportunity to teach the Jamaican public the intricacies of this agreement, because for far too long, people them just don't understand. People them just don't know. And it's important that they know the civics of the thing, how it works, because the contract move from one government to the next. And of course, them have to negotiate and all of that. We need to know. And I don't need to know much. I need to know as well. But I can already decipher that the mismanagement of the economy by the Jamaica Labour Party is a direct reason why the toll prices are going up. I now ask Christ, that is common sense. That is common sense. So PMP have to take some responsibility, and the JLP have to take some responsibility as well. But the JLP want to refuse themselves from any responsibility at all, and they have been in power for 10 years. It is absolutely astonishing and disgraceful. It is pitiful, right? It is absolutely pitiful, the tactics of the Jamaica Labour Party. But the work on those people. Work on those people, and of course Andrew endorsed fully done, and you know VAZ see people as stupid, so you can just start down to you. Yes, Mr. Willie Rattigan has that soundbite. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. We understand from it. Does it make sense what LOTHAN Cousins is saying? Really dig deep in the article, ladies and gentlemen, and the reasoning. But we know for sure the inflation factor, them actually mismanaging the economy, raises. If the inflation goes up more, the toll price will go up more. Period. I would advise people to stop taking the toll. Weigh the cost. $10,000 round trip in some cases. Really, weigh the cost, ladies and gentlemen. Weigh the cost. Mighty God. They have to weigh the cost, alright? Let's see. See what else is going on in the news here. Big up Mr. Cousins. General did the right thing. Let's see if they drop anything else. What's been going on in the news, My mother tell me, say, Andrea, I looked for me last night on the program. I kind of take a step back in people. I kind of take a step back and I assess the space and I assess what I go on with YouTube. And a lot of things are bothering me, so I think about my approach. You feel me I deal with? Yeah, I think about my approach to this thing, because you know something is not right. Something is definitely off. Lionel Messi once held baby Lamine Yamal in his arms, and now the two will be battling in the World Cup. Landslide in China kills at least 8 and leaves 34 missing. Oh. What is Croc report citing sparks concern? So there's a crocodile in what? Hold up, let me read this. No man. Oh, I'm going away, so. An investigation has been launched by National Environment and Planning Agency into reports that crocodile has been seen in the drains along George Street. Jamaica, careful here. Sablamar, look careful here. Mine on not walk near the drain them. The claim has spooked some residents and persons doing business in the parish capital, especially after the circulation of an uncertified video allegedly showing the reptiles in the drain. I hope that is not true. I really hope that is not true. Cricket legend Sir Garfield Sobers has died. And of course, while a lot of them news they are come out now, man. NRCSA chairman calls for urgent action amid deadly Trelawney crash. So Jamaica, the accidents I've been telling you guys on my platform. Pray when you not go. Ask God for coverage, yo, man. I tell you the thing are normal. I think that some people are not cognizant of the fact that their main supporters are of the orange. Bolo, the race is for the strongest, my friend. Why Alethea never tell a lie. Guys, today is Friday. Feel free to bless up the super chat. Feel free to bless up the super chat. Feel free to bless up the cash app. The Zelle is available. Alright? Yes. Let's see what else is going on here. Mackenzie pepper spraying incident highlights the need for police body cameras, says PMP Patriots. Wow, big up PMP Patriots. Run right out, yes. Yes, run right out. Definitely, definitely. Have to keep advocating for body worn cameras. And I hope this man Mackenzie keep defending the police vehemently. Attorney taken into custody after courtroom outburst in St. Catherine. What? Attorney? What you say? Hold on there, Jamaica. Let me pop that story. I'm going to pop them two stories. Hold on. What the hell is going on? What is going on? I don't know if people appreciate these videos that I do, you know, when I put them out, you know, with multiple news stories. Let's see, may I test the waters, you know? Cricket legend. I tell you, Sir Garfield Sobers. Yeah, I have time, so I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more. And it's an accident here. 6 people, Jesus. Mighty God. No man. No man. Camp tragedy, grieving mother. Question supervision after Monroe student dies in St. Thomas. Oh, that are the local youth were drowned. Hey, listen, man. Citizens urged to take action against domestic violence. Why you with them at the citizens for this? Me want to hear. Me want to hear what them at them to do. Because domestic violence is a very funny thing, you know. Tufton urges family communities to take care of seniors. Hey, Konnichiwa. Alright. So much things in the news, so much things to talk about. Jesus. My goodness. My goodness. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In this one, we have multiple stories that we have to cover, man. Yes, man, multiple stories, so we have to get right into the meat and potatoes of things. Opposition spokesperson, of course, unfortunately, you know, Sir Garfield Sobers has died, ladies and gentlemen, and a statement was put out here by the opposition spokesperson on Labour and Sports Way Behind. And, you know, following the passing of Mr. Sobers, West Indies icon as one of the greatest sporting figures the Caribbean has ever produced, and a man whose legacy transcends generations. Alright? So, you know, he has paid tribute to him. He says, widely regarded the greatest all-rounder in the history of cricket, Sir Garfield Sobers inspired millions through a career defined by extraordinary skill, humility, and unwavering commitment, to excellence. His contribution to the West Indies cricket helped establish the region as a dominant force in the sport and made him a symbol of Caribbean pride across the world. Mr. Hines said that Sir Garfield's life exemplified the very best of the Caribbean excellence. Sir Garfield Sobers was more than a cricketing legend. He was the embodiment of Caribbean excellence. At a time when our region was forging in its identity on the international stage, he showed the world the talent, resilience, and brilliance that defined Caribbean people. His achievements inspired generations of young men and women to believe and that greatness was within their reach. Reflecting on his own experience as a former West Indian cricketer, Mr. Hines said that Sir Garfield's influence was deeply personal. I first had the privilege of learning from Sir Garfield in 1994 when he addressed the Jamaica under-19 team during the West Indies under-19 tournament in Barbados. My most memorable interaction with him came in 2005 during a West Indies training camp ahead of our test series against South Africa in Barbados. He took the time to speak with me personally and offered invaluable advice on my batting. I carried those lessons with me and shortly afterwards went on to record my highest score in the first test against South Africa in Guyana. Lord have mercy. That is the kind of impact Sir Garfield had, not only on the game itself, but on lives. Where was I? But on lives and careers of those fortunate enough to learn from him. His examples set the standard for excellence, professionalism, and pride in representing the Caribbean, and his legacy will continue to inspire every young cricketer who dreams of wearing these colors. The People's National Party is to Sobers' family, the government, and the people of Barbados, cricket, West Indies, and the cricket lovers throughout the Caribbean and across the world, as they mourn the loss of a sporting giant, those whose impact will continue to be felt for generations to come. Wow. Condolences to the family, you understand, of Mr. Sobers and all the well-wishers and supporters, Salute the man. Ladies and gentlemen, at least 6 people were unalived in a Trelawney crash. And I want to say condolences to those families as well. And I'm encouraging the people of Jamaica again, please, if you are hearing my voice, Daphne, how are you? If you are hearing my voice, don't leave your yard. If you can be in constant prayer, try to operate in that way. All right? There's forces at play here, which is the direct reason for these accidents. Pastor Peter Chambers told us what happened in the spiritual realms, thus saith the Lord. All right? And unfortunately, you're seeing more and more victims. And oh, by the way, it so happens that the prophet is not here. Mark Stewart, he's not on the island. The men and women of God that is operating in the space, the remnant are so small as it is. They have a tall task in fighting spiritual warfare in the country. So if you guys are not covered by the blood, I tell you, it's gonna be tough. It says here that citizens are urged to take action against domestic violence. Let's hear what they have to say. The Jamaicans who experience or witness domestic violence are being encouraged to access available support services, to seek assistance, report incidents, obtain information that highlights the seriousness of the issues. So, you guys are encouraged that there are services in place for you to go and report and seek assistance, ladies and gentlemen. Don't wait till things get out of hand. Do not take those things lightly. Once your partner start put him hand on you or put her hand on you, yes, I said her hands, red flag. Red flag. Here, attorney taken into custody after courtroom outburst in St. Catherine. Now this, I have to read this in its entirety. This is very interesting. Wow. Attorney taken into custody. And which attorney this? I wonder if them are going to name him or her. What can go so? What can go so?
What can go so?
File photo. An attorney at law was taken into custody over her conduct during a sitting of the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday. The attorney was identified as Denise Walker.
Denise Walker? Denise, what's going on? What's going on, Denise?
Emotional damage.
No, man.
Walker. The ordeal began after Walker expressed concern after being informed that a case against her client had been set for mediation. Walker objected, arguing that the complainant was not present and stating that the matter involved siblings. How must mediation be and decomplainant not here, and is a brother and sister matter? So, call decomplainant, as I want it dealt with now, she said. Acting Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson-Gale cautioned Walker about her conduct, telling her that her behavior was bordering on contempt of court. Walker continued to insist that the complainant be called, saying, "Officer, call decomplainant now please, call her." The parish judge again asked Walker to refrain from the behavior and directed her to leave the courtroom. After exiting, Walker returned and declared, "I am paid to represent him." The parish judge then asked the police to intervene and to take the lawyer into custody. Walker objected and continued her action. Police personnel restrained her outside the courtroom and escorted her back inside before taking her to the holding cells. "God send down fire come burn down dis," said the lawyer while being taken to the lockup. The judge subsequently directed that another attorney to take on the matter, as she did not want to hear from Walker. It was indicated in court that Walker would be expected to apologize for her conduct as an officer of the court. Raspert Turner. Follow the Gleaner on.
What can go so?
I'm dead. Embarrassing.
He needs some milk.
No, man, Jamaica turned upside down. God send down fire, come burn down this. Coming from a lawyer. What is going on? Was there some type of demon possession that took place in the courtroom? A lawyer? No, man. Something personal like going between something and something, man. That not sound right. Something just ain't right. Anyway, we're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen, to another story here in the Gleaner. It says here, Mackenzie pepper spray incident highlights the need for police body cameras, says PNP Patriots. Let's check the article, ladies and gentlemen. And I champion this call as well.
File photo. The PNP Patriots says the pepper spraying of Minister of Local Government and Community Development and Member of Parliament for West Kingston, Desmond Mackenzie, by the police highlights the need for mandatory police body-worn cameras. Mackenzie said he was pepper sprayed by a police officer while attempting to calm residents following a police shooting in the constituency on Tuesday morning. The PNP Patriots is charging that the incident raises serious questions about the use of force, police discretion, and the treatment of citizens in high-tension encounters with security forces. The organization, in a statement on Thursday, said the matter requires a comprehensive, independent, and transparent investigation. While stressing that it would not prejudge any investigation, the group said the country deserves a thorough probe, with all video footage, station records, radio communications, and other evidence secured, the officers involved identified, and the findings made public. President of the PNP Patriots, Paul A. Blake, said the incident should mark a turning point in the national conversation on police accountability. When a serving cabinet minister can reportedly be pepper sprayed while attempting to de-escalate a situation, Jamaica must consider the implications for ordinary citizens who lack official titles and access to positions of authority, Blake said. For years, residents of some of Jamaica's most vulnerable communities have reported disrespect, excessive force, and abuse of authority, their accounts too often dismissed or weighed against the unrecorded statements of the state, he added. The organization is urging the government to implement the mandatory wearing and activation of body-worn cameras during planned police operations, arrests, searches, traffic stops, crowd control duties, any use or threatened use of force, and interactions that could reasonably result in complaints, injuries, or loss of life. It further called for disciplinary measures against officers who fail to activate assigned cameras, interfere with recordings, or delete footage, as well as strict rules governing the secure storage of recordings, access by the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, and timely disclosure in criminal, disciplinary, and civil proceedings. A camera that is purchased but not worn is ineffective. A camera that is worn but not activated serves no purpose. A policy lacking consequences for non-compliance amounts to a public relations exercise, Blake said. The PNP Patriots argued that the government should disclose how many body-worn cameras are currently operational, where they are deployed, how frequently they are activated, and what penalties exist for officers who fail to use them. It is also calling for a timetable for the nationwide deployment of body-worn cameras, mandatory activation policies supported by enforceable sanctions, and a comprehensive legal framework governing the use, storage, review, and disclosure of body camera footage. The organization said it continues to support professional police officers serving the country, arguing that body-worn cameras protect officers from false allegations while also safeguarding citizens from misconduct. No police officer is above the law, and no citizen should be beneath its protection. The state grants police officers significant power, but that power is not absolute. It must be exercised lawfully, proportionately, and with respect for the dignity and rights of every Jamaican, Blake said.
Salute to the PNPYO. You know, it's funny how the Jamaica Labour Party's young arm never come out and put out something like this when one of their own was pepper sprayed. One of their senior members was pepper sprayed. I wonder why. Why is it the PNPYO is standing for justice for all? The People's National Party overall. But somehow that doesn't apply where the Jamaica Labour Party is concerned. And I'm asking the question. I haven't seen it. If it's there, hey. But they should have been the first ones to put out an article like this. The Jamaica Labour Party young arm. Yeah man, they should have been the first ones. But, you know, hey, let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Like, share, and subscribe. People, I am on point. 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yes. I want to thank you guys for being here. And shout out to the people that watch the replay, man. See you guys later. The word is love. Thank you again for your support. All right? Big up on yourself. I'm out. Yeah, no more like the beauty.